Hello, my friends. Welcome to another video from Sodbuster Living. I am Shalise, and I'm introducing myself because we have had a influx of new subscribers, and I just want to say welcome. That's one of my 5 children. That is number 2. Behind me, I have number 1, number 4, and number 5. As with motherhood, life, and everything, when I pull out the camera, suddenly things get a little chaotic and crazy. So bear with me. Okay, so this is the long-awaited life update video. I am sorry it has taken so long. There's been a number of things kind of just to iron out. First of all being we had no internet for a while. And for those that are new to my channel, we just did a large cross-country move. So with that, I'm going to kind of summarize and explain kind of some things that have gone on, happened, all of that. For many years, we lived in a 770 square foot cinder block 1950s home that was completely paid off. And we ended up renting a house for 3 years in order to, with the mind to fix up that fixer-upper and sell it. Well, after 3 years, just trying to manage 2 households, 5 children, and everything else in life, we ended up selling. Let's see what else. I don't even remember where I was. So anyway, we ended up selling it as a fixer-upper. We were able to go about $5,000 more than our bottom hope was. And then we took our family. My husband was a mechanic. We took our family and we moved from California all the way to Indiana so that my husband could go back to a Lutheran seminary school. And it is a small Lutheran seminary school. Right now, he is the only student. It is a very conservative Lutheran seminary. And so I've had a couple of you reach out. Oh, I know which one. It's not that one.
It's 2 students. There's
Stefan's not doing it right now.
He's in there. Mom.
Okay.
Mom. I don't know where
The marker is for that. Oh.
No. I don't know where the is for this and the marker for this.
Okay, I don't know where the marker is for your schoolwork, but you can use one of my blue pens on the end table over there for your notebook. Okay. Let's see. We're already about 4.5 minutes in, and not much has been shared. What else? So yeah, we're out here, and then leading up to that, let's recap that for those that have been around for a while. In recapping, we were hoping to move out here in November, and what that was going to look like is we thought we had sold the house. It did not sell by the time. Yes, it's a sword.
Yeah, you can place it.
Let's see. Okay. Number 4 child. We did not sell the house. What happened was the loan fell through for them, and they came back with a cash offer that was about half their original offer. And so we rejected it and contacted finally a realtor to sell our house, because at that point we were trying to sell it by owner for a year, which is what we were advised to do with a house price are small. But I'm saying this now as someone, we tried to do everything by the book insofar as selling it by owner. Within 15 minutes, the house was sold once we contacted a realtor, because he knew somebody that was looking for it, had the contacts, had everything. He knew what papers we needed to sign. He knew what papers were explaining what. It was a lot less work than trying to do it ourselves. And he was a representative for the other people, so we only paid like $600 for him, which was completely worth it in my opinion. Okay, so I'm just going to throw that out there. So we have then for the second time around our house going into escrow, and again a cash offer, so it would have been a lot quicker. The original plan was to come out here to Indiana for 2.5 weeks, find a house, get the house going in escrow, closing, come back, pack up, move out, and then be able to move into a home.
Yeah, a final home.
That was the plan, and we had been watching Realtor.com forever for homes, and we had a couple ideas. Again, our big idea was to get a complete cash house with minor fixing up to do. We didn't want to gut anything, but especially comparing house prices from California to here, we kind of came ahead. Even though we sold our house as a fixer-upper, we kind of came ahead in comparison to the stuff that was out here. And so that was really nice because it gives us a substantial down payment. And when and basically what happened was I ended up with pneumonia, and we did not get to come out here for the 2 week. And then what my husband had decided to do is just completely move out of here, because I did not want to try to do this all over again in the dead of winter, learning the ropes of Indiana in wintertime. So we ended up moving out here, and what that looked like was the original plan. I found a very cheap hotel that we could stay in for 2 weeks, and that would give us to December 10th through 14th approximately. And then hopefully we could have at least get a house in closing so that we could find another Airbnb or hotel for the remainder of the time we would need for our cash sale. What happened after pneumonia was, though, that the hotels were pretty much booked. I mean, it's the Christmas season. But I ended up finding an Airbnb that was about $50 more than what we had originally planned. But we were just like, you know what? That's fine. We're going to take it. We have room to move in while things were going on. This is a great idea. And we ended up going for it. And that was, again, all these other plans. Careful, you cannot mess up. Yep.
Can I go to help with your furniture? Go get that.
Yeah, that's fine, but you'll have to do it by yourself. I can't help you.
No, I want to go with you.
No. You're going to stay here, Charlie. What? I have a 3-year-old that needs a nap, and he's going to have a meltdown right about now. It's been an off day, guys, which is why I have time to film this video. I ended up taking school off. John, enough. Okay, that turned out to be one of the God moves in all of this, as I was pretty much just in tears every night thinking, why is everything just collapsing? First we sold the house, now we didn't, now I have pneumonia, we can't go. What about this? What about that? And I'm just thinking, is God telling us not to move? But we had felt so strongly this calling toward that. And not only that, it was a dream come true for us. And sometimes I really think that even though those dreams, you have to be careful about them. In this case, I really think it was a blessed by God thing. But here we were in different circumstances than what I had assumed we would be, wondering, okay, what is going to happen now? Everything keeps getting pushed. We're in these instances where I just don't have everything planned out. And we ended up getting down here to Indiana. It's a little bit upper north. We got here and we came to a little town where the Airbnb was, and it was kind of unnerving at first because we get to the house and you actually go into the house and you go down these stairs to their basement, and their basement was made over beautifully into this Airbnb. It was phenomenal. Turns out we were staying at the chief of police's house, and they were the most godly people we have ever met. And again, those things that just turned out for the better. If we had tried to rush over here in the 2 weeks to find a house to get it closed, even with all the houses we had lined up, we would have been making a huge mistake. Some of the houses we were going to try to do for cash and then fix up, especially one in particular that we had our mind set on, would have been a 30-minute drive every day, which for some people is not a big deal. For us, it would have been a lot more difficult just within our circumstances that we'll get to here in a minute. And not only that, when we walked in, it smelled bad of smoke. And I was like, I just got over pneumonia. My mom has asthma. The pastor's wife in our church has asthma. I can't have her over. And it takes years to get that smoke smell out. So, we were in a position where we were able to say, this is not going to work for us. But we could do that because we had a place to stay. And when we had talked to this couple about our situation, they just blocked off the rest of the day so that we could stay there as long as we need. Even if we didn't need them or not, they were just blocked off. They weren't hurting for money, so it wasn't like a financial strapping situation. If we need them, great. If we didn't need them, okay. So that was really nice, but we still had a deadline crunch because another family was coming in the day after Christmas. And at this point, at Christmas time, we still hadn't found a house. One that we were comfortable financially with purchasing. One that even some of the structure things out here, because it is more wet, you have some foundation issues that my husband kind of, some people are like, oh, it'll be okay. You'll get 10, 15 years out of this. And we're just thinking, I want more than 10 to 15 years out of this. Some things with roofs. We had so many times where we either found a house online that we absolutely fell in love with or got to see and were ready to put an offer in, and it sold within days of listing. Can't tell you how many times this happened to the point where we were very discouraged. The town we ended up in wasn't even in our radar at all. We ended up trying to find a house here in the same town as the Airbnb because it is that hallmark kind of town. It was not uncommon to go on the street and kind of explain our situation, and people are just pouring with gospel encouragement. It's free to talk about God wherever you go here. There's a community mindset that's not just centered around entertainment, but around helping one another. And something that we were from, our little town in California was that kind of thing. It was more, I think, entertainment community center, but it was also helping one another in whatever way they can at community. So it was really nice to kind of get a little bit of home here in this town. And so, but it is a highly sought after town, and that's why the houses sell quickly. And it's also a very large Amish community, which I think, again, I have loved Amish life for so long. The simplicity, what are you doing?
Sitting down.
Here.
Huh? What?
There's Amish here.
Yeah. Oh, you're agreeing. Yes, there's Amish. Anything. Or anyway, so a lot of that, just the kind of place you dream about living. The weather is beautiful. I have to say, though, I think I can count maybe on two hands. I think we have moved over to a second hand now. The number of times where we have seen the sun, and we've been here almost 2 months. That's insane. Lots of snow. Not used to that, but apparently the year we leave, my little hometown in the middle of the Mojave Desert gets snow 2 or 3 times now. Go figure.
I got 6 inches like 2 weeks after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, where we were gone. Yep. Anyway, but another God thing that happened in all of this, where we are currently staying right now, the lovely couple, the Airbnb couple, they had bought this house that we're currently in for their daughter, and just circumstances made it so that she no longer needed it, but they had fixed it up and put all this appliances in and everything except for a washer and dryer, no furniture or anything. They had put all of it in for their daughter and ended up not needing it. So they were like, why don't you stay in this place? Just pay the mortgage. We're not going to charge you arm and leg. You just have to meet all the bills. mortgage, insurance, all that for this house, and just stay there until you find a house of your own. Again, another one of those God things where if we had gone by my timeline, my everything, we would have missed this opportunity. And again, not only that, this woman, like, I want to be her when I grow up. She made it possible for us to have the furniture we sit in, the rugs on the floor, the bookcases around, the dishes we eat from. Literally, she went, and I don't think she paid for anything outside of the couch. She just said, "Hey, we have a family that has a need. Who can help me get everything together?" She went through her own garage, everything, and put it all together. The lady, or the pastor's wife in our church, again, stepped up, got pillows, got blankets, got whatever we would need to stay warm, and came together, and this is what happened. So all of these things that just were a huge blessing and just mind-boggling. Again, not only that, we get out here and we did not close our bank account in California. We did not want to bring all that money in a car across the states. And so we took out a substantial amount to kind of get us through gas and everything. And we get here and we go to the bank to try to start transferring money, and we cannot get a bank account without an Indiana license. Okay, well, let's go get our Indiana license. We cannot get an Indiana license without a place of our own. We had to have a physical address for our Indiana license. In order to get that physical license, we had to have a place to stay. Well, a month after we arrived, finally we have a house we can rent and stay at. Wonderful. Okay, now we need proof that we stay here, which means bills. This town is not money hungry, or this state, or whatever. I would say state is not money hungry. You get to California, and within 2 days you have your first bills. This one, we've been waiting weeks to get a bill, and we keep calling. We're like, this is weird for us. We're calling to request our bill, and they're like, sorry, we don't do it. We don't just send a bill for a small X amount. We're just gonna wait till the next month, and we'll bill you then. It's crazy. Yeah, it's a peach tea. So we were just running into, we did not have anything. My husband got a job, so he at least had something. He had pay stubs. And then when we were getting pre-qualified for a loan, finally we're like, okay, a credit check, wonderful. But you had to have 2 proof. I had no proof. I had nothing. What did we end up? Oh, finally we get a second. I was able to use my credit check as one, and finally, a month and a half, we get a bill that I could use to prove residency. But in all of this, we were running out of cash rapidly. My husband does not have a debit card for his bank account. He does not believe in that. He's cash only or check to mail stuff. And even then, if there was a place in town where he could walk in and pay it, that's what he did. And when we finally got our bank account, I'm like, no, you're getting an ATM card. I don't care if you never use it. You at least have it. That's what we have. So all of that took forever just to kind of get established. So we were rapidly running out of cash. So we couldn't have afforded all of this. And then we had beds and mattresses and furniture, and even people were giving us food. It was just incredible. So that's where we're at. Now let's talk about the house. We probably saw 24 houses at least. And we got to the point where we were tired of looking at houses. There was one home that was a 2-bedroom home, but had almost I would say I want to say 1,200 square feet garage. It might be slightly smaller than that. I would say between 1,000 to 1,200 square feet garage. And my husband absolutely fell in love with. Okay.
It's also 2 cars. 2 cars.
It's a 3-car garage.
No, it's 2.
No, it's 3.
It's 2 in the front and then 3 in the back.
What?
1 in the front, 2 in the back.
That's a 2-car garage on the front. So you see the size garage door right there? That's a 1 car. It's double that.
Oh, yeah.
So he fell in love with that. I had, I'll be honest here, I had in my mind a picture of what I wanted our house to look like affordably. And the problem is that those get snatched up quickly, even though they were cheaper than what we ended up getting. They're just snatched up too quickly. And it's unfortunate, but you know what, God obviously has his hand in all of this, and so it is what it is. So we ended up purchasing that house. You might be thinking, didn't you just say it was a 2-bedroom? It is a 2-bedroom. It's a 2-bed,
1 bath.
2-bed, 1 bath, 2 living room house. The rental we're in right now is 1,000 square feet, and they did give us the option to purchase it. It's a 1-car garage. 1-car garage, 1,000 square feet, 3-bedroom home. But we still have most of our stuff in storage, and I just knew that this house would quickly become cluttered, even just trying to keep everything simple and minimal. We just keep saying, oh, we need to go get this. And so we go get storage, and stuff just quickly piles up, and it is within those needs. And a lot of it, especially if my husband goes back to school, we keep getting more and more boxes of books in, and it's just quickly filling up. So I just knew that this house wouldn't work out. The 2-bedroom home over there has a good sized kitchen, and that is important to me. I do a lot of meal prep. So we're going to take the second living room, and I call it a living room. It's probably called something else. We're going to take the second living room and put a wall up, because right now that second living room is facing what will be the dining room. And I kind of want a wall up, if you get my drift. So we're going to put a wall up. That'll be a 3rd bedroom. And in so doing, make it a 3-bedroom home. That garage is divided in half. And it has its own heating. So the front half of the garage, we're going to convert into like a homeschool extra space room. And probably put another toilet, or not just toilet, like a powder room, I think is what they're called. So that's where it is right now. It is in escrow. I'm sure I will do a more updated video on that as we kind of show you. It's fixed up. It is a fixed up home. Again, my husband just fell in love with that garage. So this is 30 minutes. I know I have some editing to do, but I really don't want it to go much longer than that. That's the update. Oh, a job. So within 2 weeks, my husband got a job. Actually, before we even came out here, he had a couple of offers for jobs. The problem was that they are hard, physically hard jobs, and he went from being a mechanic to not really wanting to do that kind of a hard job. One was within a welding company, I think, and just physically demanding jobs, and he really didn't want to do that, not because he's afraid of work, but because it's just really taking a toll on his body. And he came here. One of the reasons that we love this town is that a lot of the stores close at like 4 well, it depends, between 3 and 5 o'clock on Wednesday, so people can get to church. Closed Sunday, closed early Saturday so people can prep for church. So another reason we wanted to stay in this town and work in this town. If you have those kind of values, we want to support that. So he ended up getting a job as a lumberman in one of the stores here. Now it is very physically demanding, and he had talked to them about needing to go part-time when he gets when he starts classes, which he has, and we're not sure how that's going to work out. It's already causing some conflict between the other workers. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But that pretty much is that update. I've had a couple people ask, what about you? Are you going to be working? I am going to be looking for work. And the reason is, even though it's cheaper to live here, my husband is going to go part-time. And again, we're just going to try again. We're really just going to try to pay off that house. We were able to put about almost 50% down. I think it's 45% down, a down payment. And we're just really going to try to knock out the rest of that as quickly as possible. And then still kind of have a cushion for those months that maybe we just don't have a lot. And so far as living simply, still working on that. That will have to be another video for another time. My son's about ready to start up the saw. He has been making things and has been loving it. And I did want to address one more thing in this video, and that is head coverings, because I've only gotten 2 or 3 people asking me this, and so it's not like a ton of people have asked me, but it is something I'm self-conscious about, so I wanted to address it. And it's not, are you convicted to wear it? It's just, okay, sometimes you're wearing it and sometimes you're not. What's the deal here? So every time I look more into head coverings, I don't know what happens. So every time I study more about head coverings and things like that, the more I am convicted to wear them, especially in so having a platform and being a pastor's wife or moving in that direction. I really do feel it's a reminder to myself that I am still under authority and to be careful about what I teach or say, because we're held doubly accountable when we do so. And again, it's just that physical reminder to me. But one of the problems I have is I don't have a shelf, for lack of a better word, on the back of my head. It's very flat. And so things don't stay on very well or very long. This falls off quickly. I've pinned, I've tried everything. I just don't have a good head for head coverings, for lack of a better word, which again could be one of those things that, maybe it means that I'm not supposed to, or maybe it means how strong is your conviction kind of things, or maybe it means nothing at all. I have no idea. So when I'm trying to do videos like this and I remember I put it on in everyday life or such, I don't wear them as much just because of my issues. But again, sometimes it's like I have everything set up. I'm halfway through the video when I realize I don't have my covering on, and it is what it is. It's not so much for you guys that I'm wearing it. It's more for me and my maker and keeping me accountable for my words and my actions. So you'll see them, you won't. It's not for you. It's a reminder for me, and what Bible says is for the angels. And so I just wanted to address that briefly here. It's a long conversation. It's one I'm really, really working through. I know I kind of feel like good, but I really have strong feelings about it. I'm just struggling with how to find some that stay on my head. and don't cause me headaches and don't end up my hair getting pulled out of its roots because of how I've had to put it on. So that's that. Okay, so there is the update for us. If you have any questions, please leave them down below because I will probably just end up doing a Q&A insofar as this, but I need specific questions that you want me answered. Okay, I think that's it, and I'm going to end it here. I am expected somewhere, so I'm going to head over and do that. Thank you for watching this long video. I will try to edit it and keep it concise as much as possible, but hopefully you got some laundry folded. I had wanted to do some crocheting. We've done a lot of handcraft projects these past couple of months. It's been wonderful, but I do need full concentration, especially when I'm crocheting and not knitting. So didn't get to do that, but I did get to just have a few minutes. It's kind of been a blah day. So just having a few minutes to not berate myself for the school we didn't do or anything like that was kind of nice. So thank you for all of you joining me today and enjoying or just enjoying fellowship. I will talk to you later. Bye.